Hey, welcome back, Craig's Cave. Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe, like as well, obviously. Tell your friends, and yeah, here we go. Today, the Mini Cooper. It's not the S, it's the normal Mini Cooper. Still nice car. This is Ellie's. Yeah, we're gonna just show you quickly how to change any of the bulbs if you need to. It's a little bit awkward on this one, so we'll have a quick look now and hopefully you'll get it. Here we go. Just going to move my camera to a little position at the back. Now, I've opened the tailgate, or the boot as we call it in English, tailgate in American and blah blah blah. Different nationalities say different things. It's great, isn't it, how we have all different languages for everything. So, boot's open, obviously. Boot closed, boot open. I like to keep things simple. This is the convertible Mini Cooper, and because of that, yeah, there's not loads of room to play with and things like that. There's loads of different Minis, obviously. Your Mini might be similar, it might be slightly different, but with a similar scenario. If you want to get into the bulbs, we need to extract the actual lens itself. So I'm just going to make sure you can see that well, which I think you can. And to do that, I found out it's not easy. There's two ways of doing it. One is with tools. Two is to become a really good yoga teacher, really flexible. Hide yourself in the boot area in there, and then you can see what you're doing. If not, if you're like me, not over flexible, you get your tools and you hurt your back, your legs and everything else whilst trying to do it. So I do have the advantage of the lift, so I could lift it up a little bit just to make life easier, but I'm going to leave it just on the floor. So obviously if any of you out there haven't got the benefit of having a lift for the car, this is how to do it. Now, one thing first is both sides have a little panel within the carpeted area, if you like, and it just pops out. It's dead easy. That's it. So yeah, it's not fixed in, it's just pushed in. They actually are a different shape either side, but they do the same thing. So fiddle about, pull it out, and then you'll have fun, obviously fiddling about to put it back in. If you can remember which, there's two lugs there, there's one lug there, maybe try and remember which way. Now, while I'm working in here, you ain't going to be able to see it. There's no way I can get my camera in there, turned round 180 degrees to face back. So what I'm going to do is take it out and then show you how I did it. But first thing I want to mention to you is I'm actually just going to use the spanner, but I've got a 10mm with a ratchet, but I've got it with a knuckle, so I can bend it 90 degrees. I just found that's the easiest way. To get a socket on is really awkward because unfortunately, like on many cars, they put the little plastic butterfly for you so you can get your fingers on it and undo it, and it pops out. There's a nut on this, which is a shame it's not got the butterfly thing on, but there's not a lot of room in there either. Now, there's one tip I'd like to give you though. First of all, when you're trying to find the bolt with the nut on that holds the lens in place, put your hand inside and you feel the hole. Put your fingers more or less at the bottom of, when I say hole, I mean where that covers, the hole that covers. You're going to put your hands inside there, because the first thing you've got to do is locate the bolt. All you feel immediately is lots of wires. And then we're fiddling around, it's like, right, okay, where is it? So what I want you to do is get an idea of where the bolt is straight away. And I'm fiddling around to find it. Now, easiest way to do it, and let me just explain this, because if that is in, for example, that way, it's this corner here. So pretend this is the hole, your fingers just want to feel down at this corner, and you're going to feel the bolt, and that's where it is. So what I'm going to do is take my knuckle joint, put it on and go in at about that position. I'll feel the bolt, slide it over the bolt onto the nut, and it's a little bit long threaded, and then I'm just going to undo it. If you don't have a ratchet one, it's a pain. That's where the yoga comes into it. My back's already aching, so I've got my legs widened out so that my back doesn't go. So I'm in here now, I can feel the bolt, and I didn't check which way I put my ratchet spanner. Just gonna 50-50. Let's go for it. Hello, Pooch has come to join me, my little dog. Hello, Pooch. So I'm just putting it on there now, guys. Once I start this, we'll maybe break the bit. Right, I've got it. And I went 50-50, and you know what? I went opposite 50. It's sometimes good to check. So now I'm on the bolt, and all I've got to do, because I've got the ratchet spanner is whizzed off. So we'll probably edit the video to the point where I've got it off, which should only take me about a minute. The last thing before we do actually I want to say is, when the nut gets really close to the end and you feel it coming easy, get your fingers in there and get hold of it, because if it drops down, it's gone. It's going to be a big job to find it. Maybe when the light unit's out you might be able to see it, but better not. So yes, there we go. Right, we'll either fast forward or just edit, and then the light unit will be out and I'll show you exactly what it looks like and how to get to the bulbs. Okay, I've just got the nut off. I'm going to show you it there. Now, this nut is one with the washer built in, spinning one. So, if yours is the same, which if it's the same model, I guess it will be. This is a 2007 Mini Cooper, by the way. If it's got one of them, when you get your fingers on it, when it became loose with the spanner, and you get your fingers on it, I felt, oh, there's a washer. So you have to be careful not to drop the washer. But actually on this one, the washer's inbuilt to the end of the nut. So actually, it won't fall off, if you can see that there. It's actually an inbuilt washer, so it wasn't a problem. Again, back to the spanner quickly. The reason using the knuckle one, when it's inside, because I'm going inside, the bolts at this angle, inside, at this corner, like I mentioned. So I'm wrapping this over the bolt, going down the bolt, and then I can do this. Rather than trying to do this, what I'm doing, I'm hitting against the bottom of that little gap there. So doing that, I'm inside the actual compartment, if you like, and I can get a full turn, or 180 degrees at least, give or take, and it makes it a lot quicker. So I would recommend buying a little jointed 10mm if you don't already have one, ratchet. So that's that, okay. Let me just, so now that's free. So when we feel the bolt, we can push it and it pops this out very slightly. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to bring my camera around here, guys, and it might be a bit easier. And hopefully, if I pan back a bit, it might make it not so back-breaking for me as well. So, let's have a look from that point of view. So, as I'm pushing this bolt, you'll feel that this side starts to come out. There we go, you see it moving. However, this side's staying still. So that tells me there's something else going on in there. And typically, which many of you may know, clips. Always some sort of clips. So are they the push-through clips? Best thing to do, I tend to use gloves, by the way, a lot. Just because, if not, my hands get filthy. But also, it sometimes saves like bits of skin disappearing when you're doing this. Feel around inside. I can feel all the wires, so be careful not to pull clips off or any, pull wire, not clips, what's the word I'm looking for? Plugs, thank you, there you go. But now, what I can do, I can feel two of the clips, the, if you like, pressure clips that pop back out as you put it in. You'll see more when I pop it out. So I'm pushing it towards me and I can feel it going past the part of the bodywork, and there's another one at the bottom. So I'm going to press that one as well and hopefully coax this out. It's got to pass the threads as well as the bolts, so I'm just going to press on the end of the bolt. Yeah, that's definitely moving. Let me just check there's not a third clip. No, I think there's only two. Ah, here we go, here we go. Okay, she's popped. So, let's get her out. Obviously the wire's there in place. And quite straightforward. So, if we can see that, I can pull that pin off very quickly. I'll bring it closer, or you know what, I'll just bring the camera in quickly to there, so you can have a quick look at that. There we go, you can see these. So, this is at this angle. On those, all I did was push them in with my fingers. One, the other. One, just coax it out slightly. Two, coax it out, off it comes. If I turn it around, there's the bolt I'm talking about. And you can see there's a bit of length of thread on there. So, as she's sat inside here, and we can actually see the gap there. So, what I'm going to do is just lay that carefully down there. And I'm just going to grab my torch real quick, so do bear with me. Talk amongst yourselves until I'm back. And then, hey, I'm back. Okay, I'm just going to show you inside. Now, inside there, you can see the compartment itself. So, that's where my hand comes through. And then, if I actually do that, put that up there like so. Yeah. So my hand comes through. So the bolt, as you can see, passes through that hole there. So it's down in this corner here where you feel it. So that's what I had to undo, the nut from that side. And then the two, obviously, metal, clips are on this side here. So quite straightforward. It's just a shame they didn't put a butterfly one on here that you could just spin off with your fingers, but there's not a lot of room to play with in there. So that's where we're at there. Now, let's have a look here. So quite a straightforward unit. You've got obviously one wire going into it, one set of wires. So if we want to get to the bulbs, what we've got to do is release this, because this is holding the bulbs. And it's quite straightforward on this. It's very easy. You've got the two pressure clips there, so you just push them and the whole unit comes out like so. So there we go. And then you've got your indicator bulb, which obviously I'm sure most of you will know this is the orange one. Then you've got your brake light and tail light in one, obviously with a step. And then you've got the reverse light here. Now, one thing I want you to do is be careful when you're repositioning the reverse light. Let me show you why. Let me see if my torch will stay there a moment. Keep a bit of light on the old game. When you're putting this back in, there's actually a plastic housing that in the past has come off of here. So when you're pushing this back in, just make sure that reverse light goes in very carefully, because if not, they tend to drop off and they end up inside and shaking around everywhere. So that carefully goes back in. Once you've replaced the bulb, of course, all these bulbs are good, so I'm not going to. And pop them in. There you go, that's solid. Then this, nice and easy, just watch you're not trapping any wires. Sit it there. The worst case thing that can happen is you scratch the bodywork. So always be careful, especially if it's somebody else's car. This is my wife, so I definitely need to be careful. And then if you push it more or less in position, what I can do is get my hand inside, just feel that bolt coming through the hole, and it is. So we're good to go there. Oops, she's just moved back out, typical. Just have a look now again. He says. Right, there we go. Okay, yeah, I just had to do a bit of fiddle. I actually had it in, then took it back out. That is now sat, waiting to go through the clips, and the bolt is waiting to pass the hole. So, bit of pressure, evenly, and she's back in. Main noise that you hear there, sounds noisy, is actually the threads just passing through the hole if they're catching. So nothing, no problem whatsoever, all's good on there. Okay, all that's left to do now, let me just move my camera back, so I can at least see a little bit what I'm doing to the camera. All that's left to do now, pop the bolt back on, the nut back on the bolt inside. Carefully not to drop it inside, like I mentioned before. Again, just locate it. It's a little bit awkward, and it's good for your back, this nut. Just get it started. A couple of threads on, like I'm doing now. Spin it down as far as I can with my fingers, but the washer then spins, because it's got a built-in washer, and that's it. Tighten it back up, job done. Realistically, 5, 10, 15 minutes, depending on how fast you do it. Not difficult, and obviously I mentioned at the beginning the bulbs. What I should have said is the rear ones today on this video, but it's not bad. Again, for me, the design, just a little butterfly, you can always replace it, but the problem is there's not a lot of room in there to spin it, so it's probably why they've gone with a nut. But yeah, easy enough. So one nut, 2 clips, pop it out, squeeze, pull, release the bulbs, new bulbs in carefully. Job's a good one. The Mini Cooper is ready to rock and roll with all its rear lights working. Thanks for watching, guys. Please like, subscribe, everything like that. Again, look at my other videos. We've got lots with the Porsche, the Jag, the Subaru, Scalextric. Lots more to come. Harley Davidson we've been doing work on as well. There's my Fireblade to come into it yet. There's going to be lots of cars coming through. You may have seen them already. Yeah, we're always doing stuff. And please, questions, please fire them over. Any suggestions, anything you'd like to see us do with any of it, we'll do it. And we'll have fun on the way. Thanks again. Ciao for now.